Welcome back, everybody. We are back with the Katawa Shoujo visual novel, and this is the second episode. And right now, we are going to the nursery. And because he said that before we go to the nursery, or before we go home, we have to go to the nursery, and they're leaving. So right now, we're going to the nursery by ourselves because they just told us where the nursery was. Alright, let's continue. You'll be fine here, right? Okay. Yeah, thanks, bye. A whole building of stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education. I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On the white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to the knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounds like a bit of an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there. What can I do for you today? He is young looking, sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like the person who has heard the very same question hundreds of times. Well, yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? Jeez. Smiling man. You can call me by the name or the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Alright, I'm a new student and my homeroom teacher told me to come meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation and he snaps his finger. Oh, you're that Nakai? I was just reading your file in the morning. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit down in the vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you've probably been brief about the whole school enough, so I'll just go over this quick. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There are always someone from my staff around, even at night, so they never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nurse staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His jokes feel like so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. Yeah, it's really weird to have so many medical people at the school. He'll get used to it. I'm not so sure that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now let me find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of paper around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic. I'd like beige walls and ceilings, dark gray laminate floors, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous education posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication of the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins on his own jokes, but I don't. Well, I play soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you'll really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks, or even light jogging, jump rope, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe. There's a pool here. So I was sold. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care of not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. It's no need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over to my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's then. Come meet me if you ever need something. I'm ushered out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building. Although to my eyes they still look one and the same, and the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going, and I still keep thinking of them. Most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. Their wariness in me only grows as I trudge toward the dorm, set a light way apart from the main building and complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and the overbearing smell of cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red bricks like the others. It feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching television. One nods and gives a quick hello before returning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here's a small corridors branch from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seem to have a toilet and shower as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplate on the rooms adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside I hear a few movements and the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Oh gosh. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans close to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai, I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce myself. His face suddenly brightens in realization that he stands back up alright, thrusting his hand out, smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup dude? The name's Kenji. Ah, hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it a little, rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement, welcome. There are some suspicious looking people going in and out of your room earlier. That's probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I could trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. Wait, what do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, it doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into my lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, and a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room's impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting on the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are numbers of school uniforms hanging up there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hee-chan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They say that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. At least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have, then there would be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on my bed feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming in for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow, so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medication neatly arranged on the nightstand catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Sound Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain. After that, I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes from room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping on my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. Something gonna happen? Okay. Just pray I'm just gonna see a face pop in my. Oh. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed that night. This is my room, isn't it? My room? This is the third room this year I suppose I call mine. Various things around here remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the nightstand. I stare at the bottles before I mount, deliberating until I open a bottle and shake out a pill and pop out the tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on my new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. This goes for another thing too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Genji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and she's doing a sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 people so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure the others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal? Wait, yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. I wonder if I should join one. All through class, the questions remained in my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I'd want to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfectly and evenly flat. Ahaha! Sorry, Shichan. Is there something you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hichan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. Well, haha, I don't know, Hee-chan. The truth is it's a local event. I'm not from this area, so... She starts sighing desperately that Shizune asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of the oddly grandest flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Oh. Who cares? Misha... Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud? I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. Humans being involved with each new generation, the ideals and beliefs behind the festival will inevitably change within time. Oh. The music is just... Oh, why do I keep pressing that? I'm trying to get the music. Like, it's like... It's all the way... Whatever. Maybe, hold on, let me mess with my... Alright. I can't hear it that much. I don't know about y'all. It was just bothering me. So... Now, it's about delicious fried food and... Actually, if I... Dang, now I feel like... Okay. Maybe I should turn it up in case it doesn't change for y'all. Okay. Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games like you play to win prizes. Ha ha ha. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though brushing it off without a care. We're in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shichan. What? That's right. Hey Chan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance exchanged between them. Misha's tone also changed, although it does that every other word anyways. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Suzune looked at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision catches my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a girl with long dark hair get up with her desk and slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, but no one seemed to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl, go, why doesn't he say anything? Hey Chan, is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was Misha just looking at me after the girl who left? No, nothing. Okay, well, like, we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Wahaha! Okay, Chan, perfect. The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Before I had the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that the time is to stop working. Shizune looks more than a little annoyed that we only barely managed to finish all of our work on time. I'm glad we finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hichan. Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hand and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me, but another would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest because contests are always competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Suzune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes were. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you serious, Hee-chan? Very sure. Haha, you're wrong, Hee-chan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line of my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Wahaha. Suzune pushes her glasses up to the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-the-fact way. I'd argue more, but that bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bags and looks at me unexpectedly. I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with him. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? Haha, that's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school, I liked to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until near the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Tuesday and Misha would pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students favor eating in the classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. So Hee-chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Shi-chan. Or Shik-chan? It might be Shik-chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. It makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she is about to deliver a speech. Hey-chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There's a book club, right, Shi-chan? Or Shik-chan? Right, but it seems like they all have the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hey-chan, it's a really popular club. Okay, but more to the point, Hey-chan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Okay, or good, great, that's great. Hey-chan, really great. Ha ha ha, wahahaha. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hey-chan, other than, student council. I see, I didn't know the school has student council. That was very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion and the manner of speaking. After all, it's still Misha who has the voice of whatever she says. Haha, right. Hey-chan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely, you should join. Why? Well, for one, we could hang out every other day. Or out every day. Hey-chan, Shik-chan and I both are in the student council. Actually, Shik-chan is the president. I'm starting to get the session that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As if reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses to sign something to Misha. Haha, of course, we're not trying to get you to join us because we would obviously benefit from you joining the student council and therefore have the incentive to try and engage you. So you're admitting that. Haha, no, we admit nothing. I mean, Hey-chan, of course it would be nice if you joined and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council shows a healthy interest in the workings of one's school. Yep, it's true. Hey-chan, besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hey-chan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying their hardest to look their cutest, although they're really already pretty cute to begin with. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hey-chan. What? No. See, Chan. Of course he wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right, though it would be boring if we went that smoothly. Oh well, Chan owes me candy now. You were both betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here. Shunai seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Wahaha, that's interesting, Hitchan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hitchan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Aw, why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the club, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but this what it means is both you can team up and I'll be at clear disadvantage, so I will have to decline. Hitchan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us, that we would pull something so disingenuous? Like, that makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell where Shunai's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No. How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game where they play it in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that other makes with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's just the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hitchan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Shichan. Or Shik-chan. Wahaha, that means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slight order boys. Anyways, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Haha, yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hitchan? Hick-chan, oh my gosh. Shizune frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that so readily. So, I wouldn't say that I'm happy their attempts to get me in the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even know anybody who has a member of it, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hick-chan, how about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hick-chan. You fight for control of the world and the armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Ah, really, Shik-chan? We can play just for fun, Hick-chan. Shik-chan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there are no strings attached. Well, okay. Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hick-chan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. Wahahaha. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete, just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Okay guys. That is going to be the end for this video, and I hope y'all enjoy. So what happened is we visited the nurse, figured out that wasn't. We visited his room, we saw one of his roommates, and we came back and talked about the student council with them, and that's about it. Alright, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys later.